Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, which means it is time to talk to me. I'm excited. I'm excited. Are y'all excited with me? Because I'm super excited to be here. Um, Today's Talk to Me Tuesday topic is all things credit card. So we are talking about credit card payments, everything like that. I'm going to give you guys just a few seconds to come on in. I am going to say, get your questions in now. Let's get the questions in early so I can make sure that I answer them. I want to answer as many questions as I can because I'm only going to be here for about 10 minutes. I'm here for a good time, not a long time, right? Um, I am going to share this. I am live on Facebook, Instagram, under me, Consumers Unlimited, and Credit One USA. And we're going to talk more about that later. So I'm super excited, glad to be here. So happy to have you guys. So let's get into it. Let's talk credit cards. So we're about to get some tax returns. Some of us are. We're going to get some tax refunds and we're going to settle up some stuff and we're going to start improving our credit and our credit worthiness and all of this. And so I want us to start with the most important thing. Start with your open credit cards. Before you start paying off your collection accounts, before you start paying off all of these other people that you owe, pay off your open credit cards. By open revolving accounts. By that, I mean, if you have overdraft protection right here in Redstone, you know, that OOPS account that we keep maxed out at $250, pay that to zero. So pay off that. Pay off your secured credit cards. Pay off your major credit cards. Pay off your store credit cards. Let's pay off all of our credit cards first because, you know, I'll be liking to share with y'all, right? Boom. Look at me sharing. Head to the stage. Ha! 30% of your score right there. Y'all see that? 30% of your score is based off of the amount owed. And more importantly, that includes your installment accounts and your revolving accounts. However, they look at how many accounts have balances. Credit utilization. Remember, this is why we pay that down. Never above 30%, but for excellent credit, we want it between 0 and 6%. See, this is why I say 0 to 6%, because in some cases, a low credit utilization will have a more positive effect than not using anything. Because if you don't use it at all, people think you're scared. You're not scared, you just know how to manage it. So you want to use it and pay it, right? Now, the cool thing is amounts owed also includes installment loans. Pay it under 80%, that's where you see your bonuses at. But the big thing that I want to focus on is this: amounts owed, different types of accounts, number of accounts that have balances. So the first thing that I want to say is if you cannot pay off all of your credit cards, I want you to pay off as many as you can. Not pay down on all of them, but pay off as many as you can. Because if you owe less people, you'll have a better score, even if the amount is still high. So owing less people means you're less risky than if you get the balance down on everybody. So I want all of them below the limit, and then we're going to start paying them off one at a time. If you need the credit snowball method that I've developed to teach you how to do that, inbox me. I'll send it over to you. No problem getting you that information, okay? So make sure if you have it and you need it, ask me. So first things first, credit cards. I wanted to talk about how do you owe 30%. That's how much, how we're going to pay them. One, under the limit. Two, start paying them off one at a time. Three, after that, how are we going to use them? We're going to start using our rewards. Hear me, rewards credit cards. You know, the ones that give you something back, we're going to start using them like debit cards. So, you know, when I swipe my debit card, I go get some gas today, it shows up pending for like $1. And by Friday, that thing is going to clear. Same thing with your credit card. You swipe it today, you get paid in 3 days, you pay that card balance back off. Now you get all of the benefits and none of the drawbacks. So Pay it like that. I know people talk about the statement date, the bill cycle date, the closing date. If you use it like a debit card, you ain't got to worry about none of them dates. See, I give you tips that's going to help you no matter what your situation is. So, first things first, really quickly recap, and then I'm going to get into these questions. First things first is one, all of your credit cards, we're going to pay them first. Revolving accounts get paid first, and we want to pay them off. If we can't pay them off, we want to get them under the balance, all balances under the limits. And then instead of giving a little bit more on everybody, we're going to pay them off one at a time because we're paying them off. Okay. One, under the limit. Two, pay them off. Three, use them like a debit card. As often as you use them, pay them, and then you never have to worry about the balance date, the statement date, or the closing bill cycle date, or any of that stuff, or even when it reports. So that's our quick tips. And now I get to get into these questions. So, first question, how many credit cards does a person need? On average, you want between 4 and 6 credit cards because in general, you want about 6 to 10 accounts. You're going to have 4 to 6 revolving accounts. So I normally tell people you can get a bank card. So like here in Huntsville, they have Redstone. Another one is Discover or something like that. That's a bank-backed credit card. I like those. Then you can get a couple of major credit cards. Those are cards like American Express, Capital One. Those are like the big cards. Y'all know them. Chase, those are bigger cards. And then you can get some charge accounts. That's like your Macy's, your Walmart, your TJ Maxx, your Kroger, all of that. But no matter what, you always want a rewards card because the deal is what's in it for me. I don't want to get a card with you if there's nothing in it for me. So 4 to 6 credit cards, depending on your lifestyle. Make sure there are always accounts that you can have for 6 to 10 years. A lot of people will tell you if you got little kids to get you a card at like Oshkosh Bagosh. Don't do that because before they're out of those clothing, it will be less than 6 to 10 years. And now you'll have an account that gets closed down. And you want longevity. So you want to build relationships with people like that. I don't encourage jewelry cards unless you do a lot of jewelry shopping. Now, if your boo thing likes to get a new ring every year or a watch or something like that, jewelry cards are good for you. If you like me and I'm going to buy jewelry when I think about it, not so much because they're going to close your account. Same thing. I went ahead, broke down, y'all. I got me a Kroger credit card. And I love her. But I shop at Kroger. I love Kroger. I could go to Kroger every single day. So that credit card benefits me. So when I say how many credit cards, 4 to 6, but they have to be personal. Get stuff not just because they asked you, but because it is that because you have a relationship and you want to build a relationship with them. So next question, should we ask for a credit limit increase or let them offer? Typically, I let them offer, but if they've been stagnant for a while, I'll kind of nudge them. So I'll call in and I'll say, so let me ask, how often do you do credit limit increases? Because I've been with you guys for X amount of time and I haven't gotten one. So that's how ask but not ask. And then they'll say, oh, let's take a look or something like that. I try not to ask because I don't like inquiries because I want to save those for things that I actually want. Um, Next question. Trina said, I zero my balance and nothing reports to the credit bureau. Should I occasionally let something report? If you have zeros every single month across all of them, it depends on your profile. If you don't have a lot going on with your credit, meaning you only got about 5 or 6 things in total, and most of those are credit cards and they're always at zero, get it up to 1% reporting. So if you have $1,000, let $10 report. Let $10 report 1 month. I didn't say leave a balance on there, but let $10, just leave $10 on there, let it report a month, pay it off the next month. And if you see your score jump up, that means you have what's called a limited profile. And when you have a limited profile, you want to show a little bit of activity. Now, if you have multiple credit cards, make sure you use them every 6 months to a year to ensure that they don't close on you. So this is the other side of credit. People don't want to extend credit to people who ain't talking to them. It's like giving your phone number out. If I give out my phone number and you don't ever call me, after a little while, if you call me, I'm going to be like, new phone, who this? because I don't know you. And if you want me to know you, you got to call me. See what I mean? You got to use it or you lose it. So make sure you're not losing it because you're not using it. Okay. Use your credit cards, pay the balances. Um, so, really quickly, I'm going to recap and then I may have time for one more question. So, number one, pay your credit cards under your limits, under the limits. Once they're under the limits, pay them off one at a time. If you can pay off two or three at one time, that's fine. Don't put a little extra on everything, pay them off. Once we pay them off, we use our reward cards like debit cards. That means when we use it, a couple days later, we pay it off so that there's never a balance, and then you don't have to worry about balance dates, statement dates, anything like that. Finally, we don't really ask for increases unless we have to, and we don't say, "Hey, can you give me an increase?" We say, "What? How often do you do account review for limit increases? Because I've been with you for a while, and my limits haven't been increased." But we don't want to do that if we haven't been paying like we should and our balances aren't good, because they may look at your credit worthiness and say, "Oh, when we offered you this $5,000, you were good. But now you ain't paid nobody. Let me go ahead and drop this limit down to the $300 you're using." So, credit is short for credibility. Everything is revolving around you. Are you trustworthy? Your credit report is an indication of what you'll do and if you keep your promises. Be a promise keeper. And I'll talk to you guys next Tuesday. Have a great day.